Vanishing Twin survivor or womb twin survivor. The Vanishing Twin, I want to give you just some hints to observe in your system or in maybe a partner's system or someone else's system of the signs that you may be a survivor or womb twin survivor. I'll go through a list that I've observed in people I've worked with and in myself over the years. And that will give you a sense of maybe recognition of why you felt a certain way or why your behaviors were a certain way. What is a vanishing twin? A vanishing twin is where there was another egg in the womb with you, or maybe more. And that brother or sister, the soul was there very present with you in the womb for a number of weeks. Most people I work with, it would be quite early. It could be 14 weeks or more. Generally, the impact gets stronger the later into the more development is. So most people would be from 14 to 17 weeks. That's what I usually pick up in the system when I'm working with people. As a womb twin survivor, there's ingrained, almost like deep down in your bones, a sense of guilt, a sense of not belonging here, a sense of loneliness, a sense of I'm missing my other half in life, half in death, because you've experienced such an intimate bond in such an early stage in the womb that you're extremely have an ability of going to really deep relationships, almost like without words, that you can connect with somebody and bond with somebody because you've developed that in the womb. Whereas if you're an individual child, you have to develop that skill later. But as a twin survivor, it's different. You've experienced that in the womb. So you have an ability to connect deeply with somebody extremely fast. Generally, you will attract someone else who is a vanishing twin or a living twin, and you'll go into a deep bond, a deep relationship that may feel like a twin soul. And often you hear about, I found my twin soul. Another thing you could find as well, that you may not want to go into a deep relationship because you do not want to experience that type of level of pain again, of trauma again, of being separated by your other half. As a vanishing twin, you're in each other's system. It's almost like the sun and the moon, but it's like one is alive and one is dead. So you have an imprint in your system of half alive, half dead. So you could, in health-wise, you would have digestion problems. You would have maybe a lot of, herpes virus or many different viral topics come up in the system. Lyme's disease, for example, because you're not in your system, you're out of your body, half dead, half alive. Loneliness, deep sense of longing, of loneliness, because you're missing the other half, so you feel alone, you feel betrayed. You would give your food to somebody else, you would put everybody else before you because you're actually in someone else's system. So if you are a vanishing twin survivor, you would be in the womb with your brother or sister or more, and you would feel they were getting sick. So 8, 10 weeks, it depends how far into the development stage is in the womb. You would start, when you feel your brother or sister getting sick, you start giving your stem cells. As a child would naturally give stem cells to a parent, to a mother, if she needed support. So you start giving stem cells. So your first interaction in life is to give your essence to somebody else. So that sets you up in the field in your subconsciousness that everyone else is before you. So I remember as a child, if you gave me food, I would immediately give it to the person next to me before I would take something, a part of it myself, because that's the natural instinct I had from being in the womb and giving to my brother. So you have this natural instinct to give to the other person. So you could build finances up that could manifest in business, for example, like you create a business for somebody. you like to do business together or create something with somebody, but you will set it up, support them with the setup, but then you want them to take it over because you'll give it to them and they will make the money, they will get the fruits of it, but you will leave it. You will start relationships and maybe not complete them. You will have problems going deep into relationships, as I said before, because you don't want to go into the pain of losing somebody again. You could make an excuse up in your system that I'm finding the one, and you have this high standard actually of finding the one, but you'll never find the one. That can save you from actually having the experience of not having in a relationship, because it's saving you from experiencing the grief, the pain, the loss that you of separation which you experienced in the womb. So you convince yourself, I'm waiting for the one, but you'll never find the one. Nobody else can be the one, only your twin. So it's a never-ending journey of looking for the one. Always also as a vanishing twin, you will always be working on yourself because it's never enough. You will never find yourself. You will never be satisfied with yourself. You will give love to others and you'll find it difficult to love oneself. You will have almost like living two life plans at once, and you're like two trains going together and you're jumping from one to another. It's exhausting. If you imagine like there's two people behind you, you and your twin, having a conversation about everything you're doing in your life. Shall I go out? And your twin say, no, I don't feel it at the moment. So there's a dialogue in the background going continuously. Don't go out because remember what happened the last time. So there's a constant chatter in the background, which is exhausting. You're also, after absorbing the tissue, the cells, the blood, the organs, the placenta of your twin, so you've digestion problems. You've got eating disorders, for example, or maybe you're eating for two, or maybe you're starving yourself because you gave to your twin. Guilt, as I said before, is a huge one. I'm guilty because I left my twin. I'm guilty because maybe I feel I killed my twin, but that's not the fact. The fact is your twin survived on a soul level, but physically died. And what happens, what I found is that when you merge with your twin, you merge into his or her place. So you're not in your rightful place. So you'll have problems grounding. You'll have problems embodying. You'll have problems to manifest. You'll have problems to live your purpose. You'll have problems with finances as well, because it's about financial flow. Intimacy will dull down. If you're in a vanishing twin relationship, which most people would be if they have a vanishing twin, they will attract a vanishing twin survivor as well. Then you're in a relationship where one is alive and one is dead. So the partners, both partners, will never be on the same frequency. Also, you will have this thing that my partner must be identical to me, must be the same level of consciousness as me, otherwise we don't fit. The reality is, in a relationship, you're always going to attract something completely different, or maybe similar, but you're going to bring different qualities to the table. So a vanishing twin survivor will have this tendency to always, or expectations that your other half should be similar to you, same belief systems, same level of consciousness. Otherwise, we're not fitting together. There is constant regret and letdown and disappointment because the expectations are that you'll be my other half, my twin. Your partner can never fulfill the shoes of your twin, so you're setting up yourself for disaster in the relationship. There will be maybe difficult to leave that relationship because there will be friendship and loyalty there, or maybe not, because you can't leave a twin. You can leave a partner, but you can't leave a twin. If you separate from that partner, it can be devastating. I can't survive without him or her, because you are leaving a twin. You can't leave a twin. Also, when you experience loss in your life, it could be loss of a friend, it could be even a relationship ending, then the information is bringing you back to the trauma in the womb of losing your twin, losing your other half, and that's going to be stuck grief. So you've opened up the grief of losing a loved one or losing a relationship or a friendship, And that grief is mistaken for the grief you experienced in the womb. So your heart is getting blocked. Each time you experience a new level of this grief, it's really the grief from the womb, but your system thinks it's the grief with that person. So it's in the wrong place, so it will not heal, it will not transform. Health conditions, normally digestion problems, because you've digested your twin and your system holds the information of the vanishing twin, because you feel that's all I have belonged to my twin, so I'm not going to let that go, even though it's toxic and it's not good for me. You will not absorb the food correctly because it's not your system to absorb it. You will have the flora and bacteria in your system, which is belonging to your twin, with your own, even though it's unhealthy for you. So your system, your cells, your body, your immune system is not working for you, it's working for somebody else. Half in, half out. You will have a tendency to get sick very fast and heal very fast. Always extremes, one to the other. You may kick yourself out of a job, you may kick yourself out of a home because it's representing you being kicked out of the womb or leaving the womb. You will manifestation, you may manifest it, you start a system because the system has got like an indentation in it. So if you imagine a circle, let me just draw it now, a circle, and that circle has the imprint of your twin in the system. So in your aura, you will have this indentation. Now, this circle is also the wheel of life, of creation. So you will start creating a new business, a new job, and then you'll drop it. You will not get the fruits of your work until you accept you're number one in the system and accept that basically you're whole. So then you create a circle and then you create creation, flow, ease, and you're working for you. In this way, if you walk into a room, you're walking into people's topics. They're in your system and you're in their system. So there's a boundaries problem. You're very empathic because you have to be able to read the room, because when you walk in the room, the whole room is in your system. So you're very empathic, you're very psychic, you can read systems. You can be empathic and feel systems. You would find it difficult to accept the love, but you can give the love. You will want to help everybody, save everybody, because you can feel them and you want to save your twin, representing you want to save whoever's in your system who needs problems, who has problems, or is going through something traumatic. You will have a connection on sorrow, on grief, on trauma. You will feel that you don't belong in the world. You will maybe feel that you want to save everyone in the world or save the world. You will have a tendency with being poisoned. You will have food sensitivity. You will have a tendency that if there's something toxic going into your system, it will definitely affect you, whereas it may not affect somebody else who is a child, a one only child. So anything that's given to your body that you've taken into your blood or the medical system has given to you, it may affect you much more side effects than what others would normally go through. Let me see what else. Loneliness, sadness, and also you're in the womb with your twin. So it's you and your twin and the rest of the world is outside you. So in life, you'll feel it's you and maybe a friend or a partner and the rest of the world. So when you go into a twin relationship or friendship, it's you and your friend, but nobody else. They're all distant from you. So they may feel like they're shut off from you. Why have you disappeared since you met that person? Why do you have it's only you and your friend all the time? So this membrane will separate you from life and also from people connecting with you and also receiving the love and the creation field of life. So there's like this invisible veil between you and the world, the rest of the world. And this can prevent you expanding. You will have a sense of failure. You will have a sense of, as I say, I don't belong here, because you have this veil in the system. You would find it difficult to make decisions because the first decision you made in your system is to be born, or maybe half between life and death, or maybe not to be born. So you might feel pushed into the world. You may feel it difficult to make decisions because the first decisions was deadly, life-threatening. So you don't want the responsibility of making decisions. You don't want to be left alone. A twin survivor will have very deep emotional bonds. If you have children, you will be a very needy parent, that you want the emotional contact with your children or grandchildren because you feel that they may not survive, or you may lose them, or you may go in depression if they're not around you, so you're quite needy. Codependent relationships are very common with being the survivor twin, because you're in the womb together, you're in each other's system. So the natural thing is to be codependent. So your relationship, your marriage could be codependent, your friendships could be codependent. So you have this expectations in the system. You will not develop your potential or live your potential because you're in your sibling system, your twin system. So you twin could be the older one and you're the younger one, so you're in the older place. So then you cannot embody your essence, your work, your soul information of why you're here. If I go on a soul level, it's a massive gift, because it sets you up. We're a spirit, we're here to have experiences. So I know if you asked me as a child what you want to do, I said I want to experience I wanted to experience everything. That's what I said as a child. The reason on a soul level is I chose to have multiple experiences. So as a vanishing twin, you're having double experiences. So now I don't need that experience. I can develop, and I can be an individual, and I can be my own person. That's on a higher level. Okay, so there is lots of positives of having a vanishing twin and having that experience. You also may appear a little bit ruthless sometimes, because it's almost like, if the plane's going down, I'm going to be the first one off the plane. So you'll have a tendency to be the survivor, because you are the surviving one. If there's a disaster, you will always survive. You'll be very sensitive, empathic, and oversensitive to crowds, oversensitive in a room, oversensitive in life. You'll want to be alone. You want to be in an environment where it's peaceful, where I can go into my cave, go to my island. I live in Mykonos, my island. So you may like being in groups, very good connection with groups, but you want to be alone. They're disturbing your system. Feelings, emotions may be blocked or confusing. Your nervous system will be overloaded because you're in the nervous system of your twin. You may have organ problems or health topics because you've actually taken on the cells of the twin who died. So you've got an organ, maybe a liver, a kidney or something, or a tooth or a bone or something, or a specific location in your body where the vanishing twin cells are still living in your system. I've often come across people where they had operations where they had the twin removed from their system, where the twin cells would still grow in the body in some area, teeth, hair, skin, bone. So this is very common. It's coming up very strong in people I worked with who are carrying strong illness, hereditary illness, which is going on very strong. Attracting parasites, because almost in a way it's like a parasitical energy, a parasite energy, parasite way of living. Difficult to feel at home in the body because it's not your body to be home. What else? There's so many things. Financial blocks, financial flow. You'll gain money, a lot of money fast, maybe, and lose money. The lifespan, your life would be a graph of working very hard and then losing it. That would be the normal structure. You could build up a relationship or a work. So your system will work really hard, study really hard, and then lose everything and start from fresh. Lose everything, start from fresh, because you have the tendency, the imprint of building a relationship with your twin, and then your twin left. So you'll have the feeling, this fear that somebody's going to leave, or else you start relationships, friendships from scratch, or starting your business from scratch. In a regular system, you basically will learn and grow and learn and grow and learn and grow, and you get older and you learn and grow. So a normal person's system, I won't say normal, but in life, normally you learn, you experience life, and you grow. You don't have to start from scratch. But the system with Vanishing Twin is constantly this up and down. You will have a tendency, as I say, to work on yourself a lot because you feel like you haven't achieved what you're here to achieve, because you have very high expectations on your system, because you have the expectations of 2 in your system. So it's never enough. You will always strive for the next. It'll just never be fully satisfied with what's on your plate. Always struggling and moving on, creating drama, creating destruction. Sabotage can be quite strong. You may feel like you have 2 personalities in your system, or you've got a big ego, but it's not actually your ego, it's your twin system living in you. You may be living your life through your twin. So you may have an opposite sex in your system, and you may, if you're a woman, you may be a tomboy or quite feminine if you're a male. It depends what's in your system. Your parents, as parents, I noticed that they may have a girl and dress the girl in like a boy, or vice versa, and feel like, where's my, or have a girl and say, okay, where is my boy? I want a boy, or I want a girl, because the parents would feel there's a boy there, but they've got a girl. So there's confusion in the system. Also, brothers, regular brothers and sisters would feel like there's something strange with this one because there's something hidden, there's something in the background. So there could be a tendency that there's something shady here, there's something not clear here with this person. Also, there's a feeling of, this sounds very extreme what I'm going to say, there's a feeling of them jumping in your system, almost like a rape energy or an abuse energy, because it's overstepping boundaries, because you have an opening in your system, you're in somebody's system. It's almost like you left the door a little bit open and then suddenly they're in your home and they're in your bedroom, because the Vanishing Twin has an open system. So there's no boundaries in the system. So they're in your topics. You'd invite them for coffee and then they're in your system. So if you're the Vanishing Twin survivor, you're in someone's system, you're in their bedroom, you're in their deepest topics straight away. There's no gradual knocking on the door and go, can I go deeper? Can I go deeper? Can I go deeper? So there's no boundaries in the system. What else? There could be emotional blocks that you will develop. There could be blocks, as I said before, about not having a relationship even, because the hurt, the pain was so strong that you will never have a deep relationship or never have a clear marriage in the system. If you're married in a twin system and you have children, the children may not be in the system as your children. They would have to be your partner, they'd have to be your friend, they'd have to be a twin to get into your system, because it's you and your twin. So until you clear this veil and acknowledge that you are the mother and the father and they're the children in front, then the system is clear. So there's a confusion with the kids too. And this usually continues on into the next generation. So maybe your parents had a Vanishing Twin and they're continued this off on in the system. Vanishing Twins, what I've researched on it, they say it's very little, but I don't know, from me, I think it's a lot more. My sense is it's a lot more than you think. I feel there's many Vanishing Twins out there who are doctors, nurses, who are in the care profession, who are doing the work I'm doing, for example, who have Vanishing Twins and they don't know about it. Most people won't go there if they have a Vanishing Twin because they have protection up from experiencing that type of trauma again, or they don't want to break the contact with the twin because the twin is surviving inside you. When you're in a twin relationship, you bring somebody else into the relationship because it's 2 of you in the relationship, but now there's 4 because you usually attract somebody who has a Vanishing Twin. So you will be in a relationship with 4. So it's 1 step in the relationship, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, searching for the next one. So there could be affairs in the system. There's always looking outside. He's not the one. Maybe I'd stay in. I won't commit fully in because I haven't found my twin yet. The next one. And in the new addictions are strong usually with Vanishing Twins. So it's usually an addiction in the system because you're trying to fill in the missing love. It's a love that can never be fulfilled because the type of love you're looking for can only be fulfilled from your twin, not a partner. So there's a constant need from a partner to be, if you're in the relationship with a Vanishing Twin, it's never going to be enough. never enough love. You can never do enough. You can never give enough. There's never going to be satisfaction. There's always going to be letdown or regrets and disappointment. There's a lot. If you find there's a vanishing twin in your system and you work with a vanishing twin, it's going to change your life. It's such a positive, it's such a gift to have a vanishing twin, because there's so many positive aspects to this and so many aha moments of, that's why my eating was like that. That's why my relationships was like that. That's why my health was like that. It's a beautiful experience to discover you had a twin. It gave you so many abilities about being empathic, about being psychic, about reading systems, reading fields, reading groups, reading rooms. Why do you think I've developed my skills so well? So there's many gifts you have on a soul level and on a physical level, and you can really claim back sovereignty of your being number one in your system, allowing your twin to be number one, and really take your life back, your health back, your ability to have a relationship back, a full relationship, a full job, a full creation field, a full lifespan, living your gifts, living your potential, and knowing who you are. Often vanishing twins, survivors do not know who they are. They're confused because they got two system information in them. So yeah, there's many gifts. I'm going to be doing this webinar. I've done 2 other webinars. It's not something just for one session. It's something you have to work on yourself, and it's layers and layers and layers. I've been working with my vanishing twin for years, and all the sessions I'm doing, I'm finding new keys every day. It's not a burden, it's a gift. I find I get received so many gifts because of my vanishing twin and discovering the vanishing twin. So it's really a great gift, an honor to connect with your twin and make these realizations of why you were behaving a certain way, why your relationship was a certain way, why your health was a certain way, why you were eating right and things were not working out or absorbing, why you may have food allergies, eating disorders, why you may have different illnesses, different traumas, different fears, different anxieties, why you're oversensitive, why you're super empathic, why I had double vision, my eyesight. I had problems with my hearing as well because of that. I had problems with my skin. I had problems with my health. I had problems with my digestion. I had problems with iron deficiency because I wasn't in my system. I wasn't in my own body, my own blood. And when I balanced the system, I could improve my eyesight. I could improve my hearing. I could improve my digestion. I could improve my skin. I could improve all my organs. Every part of my life changed. Everything changed when I discovered about my twin. Everything, my life changed. I feel younger, I feel fresher, I feel more alive. I feel it's my life. I feel I know myself more. I feel more excited, more vibrant with life. I love life. I can receive love. I can express myself clearer. I don't have the guilt that I was carrying all the time. If someone stepped on my toe, I'd say sorry. It's almost like sorry for surviving, sorry for breathing, sorry for being here. The guilt was so strong. I know the Irish system has a very strong guilt system, but this was excessive. So also my teeth, there's so many different things which improve when you realize and when you really work deep into your system with the twin. And this webinar will really be going in for the physical symptoms and to work through the different layers. So I invite you to be part of this webinar if it resonates with you. Most people I work with in single sessions, they come for a specific topic, and the real reason is because they have a vanishing twin and their system was not accepting it. Most people will say, I resonated with all your webinars and this one didn't resonate with me at all, because there's so much resistance from going there because there was such heavy trauma. So if this resonates with you, or you have some things on the list, I invite you to open up the possibility that this may be for you, and come into the webinar and try it out and feel if it makes a difference. It will shift you on levels anyway, if you have a twin or not. But it's going to be a beautiful experience and realization in your system. And then you're in your own cells, your own body, your own channel, your own life, your own potential, your own boundaries, your own financial flow, your own creative flow, your own fruits of life, your own self-love, your own nourishment, and your own relationship with yourself and a partner or friends or your children. So yeah, so many gifts. So maybe I see you at the Vanishing Twin webinar. It's going to be recorded, so you can watch it over and over and over again. You will hear many things. If you want to listen to more talks I did on YouTube about the Vanishing Twin, or I did a talk with Dr. Kim as well. So you'll hear different keys and you'll get aha moments. So it's a beautiful experience. Find out who your twin is. Where was your twin in your life? What does your twin like? What hobbies do your twin have? What gifts does your twin have? What does your twin not like? Who does your twin like? Who does your twin not like? You will find out so much about yourself, because the more you find out about your twin, the more you find out about who you are. So maybe I see you at the webinar or one of the ones in the future. Thank you for your time. And this is a huge gift. It's not a burden. It sounds like it a lot, but you can work with your twin very easily, very beautifully, and really enjoy life and abundance and relationships and marriage and eating and health in a new way. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.